Welcome to Orange Country.
I'm in a mood today.
I like that as the start.
Yeah.
Go.
I'm in a mood today.
What's going on with you?
I don't know. Oh,
What?
sorry.
Oh,
Very important.
That sounds like the beginning of Mariah Carey.
This actually might be a real call, but we're gonna
Take it. Just
we're gonna
see.
send it to Cowboy.
No,
what if
just
it's
check.
somebody
We just
calling
started.
though about?
Just please check.
Hi, this is Gina.
Hey, this is Gina. I kind of like the idea of us doing the show where she just
Hi,
takes
Mike
calls.
Belfour. Actually, I get your emails. Yeah, so thank you for those. But I am actually literally sitting in the middle of recording my podcast right now, but I didn't want to miss this call in case it was something that I had to. Well, I appreciate you, Mike. Thank you very much for that. Okay, you too. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.
All right, gotta go, Mike. There's
Gotta go,
something real
Mike.
fun about the idea of us taking calls
In the middle
and the
of
other
our
person like
podcast.
sort of commenting while you're talking, like being the voice of the audience.
Totally.
Because you're like, this is Gina.
Well, now he got my attention too. So that's like a mortgage broker who has, he sends like cheat sheets and tips about the market to my email, which is actually really helpful. Like a lot of these people inundate you with this information because they want to work with you, but it's actually really helpful information. But like I commend his persistence,
Yeah.
He just called me, I didn't know. Now he got me a phone. He sounds like such a nice guy.
That's great.
It's always good to have
Good
people.
for Mike. Good for
Yeah,
Mike.
good for you, Mike.
Okay, so let's get into it.
What have you been doing?
You said you were in a mood. Is it because of the drive? It took us both a long time to get here
The drive
today.
didn't help for sure. It takes LA is far from Orange County.
And Santa Barbara.
It's far from everything. It's like its own little vortex.
They think we're far, probably.
And they do, but
I don't care.
Me neither. 0 fucks do I give.
So we're going to work that out. But today we were both on the phone on the way here.
A little frustrated.
Try not to give all of our energy away to each other on the phone and get here. And now we can actually catch up.
Well, first of all, I'd like to say a very happy birthday to Sienna Rose, her 10th birthday.
Aw. When people hear this, she'll be her birthday
20.
anymore. Yeah.
No.
10th.
I know, double digits, big deal. So I swung by Matt's this morning and dropped off a bunch of like milk and cookies and a bunch of swag in a bag.
Milk and cookies?
It's a cookie place.
Oh, okay.
But I actually did bring her milk and cookies because she loves this like creamsicle milk from there. It's like some cool milk.
From the place, milk
From
and
the
cookies.
place. I swear, to me, living in Orange County is like a whole nother world, like than how I grew up. Like,
Well, yeah.
or maybe it's just the time. I always find myself getting confused about that. And I don't know if you've lived in Santa Barbara long enough but you've traveled a lot. I guess my thing is because I've lived in Orange County for 9 years now. Sometimes when I talk about Long Island and New York, I'm like, no, things are so different there. There's no
But you don't even know.
shabu. There's no pho, all that stuff. But like, I don't know. Maybe it is just that's modernized in the time now. Maybe there's pho noodle places on every corner on
There
Long
wasn't
Island.
a lot of pho in Nashville.
Yeah, I still don't think there's a ton of pho on Long Island,
No.
but there's got to be some.
Someone has got to open a pho place that's pho you.
It's for everyone.
No, I mean
think.
pho you.
For you, for me, for everyone.
We don't give a pho.
We don't give a flying pho.
A flying pho.
Flying
That's
pho.
it.
That's it.
We just worked it out.
We did.
We workshopped it.
Do you like pho?
I don't even know what it is.
Are you serious?
Is it noodles?
It's so good. It's noodles. I don't want to misquote this, but I believe it's Vietnamese, but I could be incorrect about that.
Okay.
But it is phenomenal. Like
phenomenal.
That's another. Oh my God, there's endless possibilities to open up restaurants all over LA.
I am so well. It's funny that you like something that I consider to be quite worldly in pho. When I saw what you walked in here today with,
Oh yes,
this is her snack.
My snack of choice.
I have
snack of choice
never.
today?
So it's the circus peanuts.
Circus peanuts.
A candy. It's the candy.
Yes, it's candy.
So anybody who isn't seeing this, it's those weird orangey yellow circus peanuts, which we'll be getting into my color blindness in another episode. And
to be honest, they're disgusting.
Are they? What color is that?
That's orange.
This is where my the line kind of blurs for me of what color. I've never known anyone who bought these.
I know.
I see them at convenience stores and think they must be there from the 70s.
Who is buying them?
I would like to say they are called circus peanuts, but described as a banana flavored classic candy. What? Banana flavored peanuts?
Classic. They're a classic.
I got to take a bite.
You have to try them.
I don't like the texture.
I love the texture. I love everything about it. I find it so satisfying. They're so satisfying. The way it like squishes in your teeth and then they're so amazing.
Something is definitely wrong with
the circus peanut. And everybody can tell me it's either a love it or hate it. There's no in between with the circus peanut.
You know what it is?
They're like Housewives.
I'm not sure I would hate it so much. The peanut shape and name gives you an idea about something. So when you take a bite and it tastes like banana, your brain is it's like, have you ever been handed a drink and you think it's a Coke, but it's a Sprite? And in that moment, you hate the taste of Sprite because you're not ready for it. If these were shaped like little bananas, my brain might be able to process the taste better.
Well, okay, number one, I've never, in all the years I've been eating circus peanuts, I've never read the fine print banana flavored classic candy favorite. So I've never identified a circus peanut with a banana taste, number one.
First of all, you're fucking crazy.
I know.
That tastes like a damn banana.
I've never put that together before in my life. Like, to me, it just tastes like a circus peanut.
Like, it's just not, no, let's clarify, because she's not completely, she hasn't gone crazy. It does not taste like a peanut.
Banana.
She means circus peanuts, the candy. When she describes it, these just taste like those. She's not saying they just taste like actual peanuts.
Right. They do not.
No.
They are far,
and she doesn't think that.
Not at all. Those are not my thoughts.
But it tastes so banana-y to me.
But also, it's like, because they say circus peanut, that like makes it more fun. Like, it's like a circus. It's a party.
It's not a party I ever want to go to.
Okay, well, like, you can't judge me when your snack of choice is a chicken tender from the supermarket.
Look,
like,
I went to the grocery store before we got here, and I got just a box of chicken tenders. What do you call this? A box?
Yeah.
It was only $5.
That's
it was only $5 for all those, and I've already eaten two.
No, that's a great deal.
It really is, considering. I mean,
it's like a whole chicken.
I know. So I brought fried chicken. She brought circus peanuts, and then our drinks. She has a Red Bull.
If
I drank a Red Bull, I might as well do a line of cocaine. I would be crawling out of my skin if I drank a Red Bull. Yeah.
You have coffee in the morning?
I do have coffee, and I have multiple. I have caffeine constantly, but Red Bulls are another level.
Well, they're my level, and I'm here for it.
It's funny too, because you're calm.
Yeah, because I
think you have ADHD.
No, I do have ADHD.
And I think things that are supposed to speed you up actually help you focus.
They do. And
I have a lot of people, and in a lot of circles, I'm known as a doctor.
I would believe you.
I just diagnosed you.
Dr. McAnally.
And do you take a pill for this?
I may.
Okay.
My whole entire journey of a human.
Yep.
That's not true. I'm lying about that. But in later years,
Good.
yes, I did.
Yeah.
You know, some things I think now when I look back, and I think to myself,
oh, if you had just had.
I have all this stuff.
I know.
And, you know, you don't know. And now when I go through stuff because my kids are not, Sienna is not on medication or anything, but it's like when I see some of the stuff she goes through, like her processing and sensory issues and stuff, challenges, I think, oh my gosh, I had that then. And I talked to my parents about it, and they recognize it, but things were just simply different then. Like, there wasn't all this attention brought to it, or like you have to go to the doctor and you have to like address this. You just kind of like live through everything.
Well, guess what? We've had a lot of conversations in our house about this too with our own kids, because my husband has been an adult diagnosed with ADHD. It's changed his life getting on medication.
Yeah, because it just kind of gets
focus.
you to focus.
Now, I wish he would focus on
the things you want him to focus on.
Thank you. I thought in getting him on medication that I could program him. That's not the case.
Yeah, that's a different medication.
But
that's a lobotomy.
In the conversations that we've had with the doctor and stuff about our own kids, the ADHD goes undiagnosed in girls.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and the reason why is because it shows up more as hyperactivity in boys. So the parent is like, this child is so crazy, he must have ADHD.
Yes, that makes sense.
Girls, it shows up differently.
Because
they
Sienna
can't
is not
focus.
hyper
They can't
either.
They can't.
Yeah,
They get sidetracked.
Right.
You know, our daughter cannot task finishing. Now she can focus on something if she gets obsessed with it, making something. But as far as getting ready for school, I cannot tell you the number of days we get in the car and she has one shoe on.
Oh,
or,
really?
You know what I mean? Doesn't have her backpack, the only thing she needs.
Right. That's the requirement.
And it's hard because I get what you're saying in that maybe if your parents had the information, some of these things that came across as maybe dumb or forgetful, care, not thoughtless, or what do they call it? Like somebody who's a kind of flighty.
Yeah, that I am. That's the thing is I am extremely flighty and I'm also messy.
So is she. I took a video this week and was like, you are a hoarder.
Yeah, I don't love to hoard. I can get rid of everything.
Just stuff.
But the way I tornado, that's what it is. So if I'm getting ready and then I get down to that time, oh my God, I gotta go. And it's I'll just take my clothes off and my clothes just go on the floor. Yeah. And then it's oh my God, I need jewelry. So I take my jewelry thing out and I just leave all that on the bed and then da-da-da. And then it's when I leave, it's like a tornado.
Do you feel differently medicated?
Yeah, I mean, it's better, but also that's just a part of who I am. And I accept it. I love myself in spite of the fact that and you know what other people do too? Emily, the people in my life, Travis.
They appreciate it.
I don't know if they appreciate it, but they
quirk.
tolerate it.
It's
it's a quirk for sure.
I think people like Travis probably honestly are a little drawn to it.
Maybe, because we're yin and yang.
I do think that Michael, even though his manifests in a different way, he is a hyperactive person. I'm all over the place too. I'm a creative person. So I come up with an idea and then just drop it. And then, you know what I mean? It's and he takes it as gospel. If I just walk into a room and go, you know what? That window, because we're doing some renovations on the house, I'll be like, it'd be cool if that window was taller. And I just walk away, never think about it again. Well, I don't know that the next 2 hours he's spending trying to engineer it, finding out how much it costs. And then we'll have a fight about it later because he'll be like, well, they're coming tomorrow to work on the window. And I'll be like, what are you even talking about? And he'll be like, well, you said you wanted that window taller. And I'll be like, I know, but I didn't mean to cut the wall open.
See, I feel that should not be a fight. I feel if I could just go around saying all my ideas and then somebody follow behind me and made them happen, I would be really happy.
The problem is I don't always
really want that.
It's not that I don't want it. It's that it's more of let's have a conversation about why they didn't do that. Why didn't they make those windows taller?
Oh, you're not saying it because
a lot of times
from we should change that. It's just I'm curious.
Me too.
You're
that's what
person.
It is because I think there must be a reason. So many details about our house are so thought out.
Yeah.
That I'm like, why would they have done that? Why are the ceilings so tall but the windows are short there?
Yeah.
But we are changing it. But
I agree with you. I noticed now that I'm doing real estate, I notice so many more things about homes that I didn't before. And I think most of the answers are that people the builders, they just don't give a shit.
It's funny
honestly.
Because I often just go, and I do this with songwriting too. If I hear a song a lot or if someone plays me a song and it does something that I wouldn't do, it's actually a compliment when I go, why did you do that in the second verse? That's so weird. In my mind, I'm thinking, how does your brain work? Why did you do that? That is so different than I would have done.
Right. It's interesting to understand
other
people's
a lot of
perspectives.
times, a lot of times being who I am in songwriting, that makes the person think they should change it. and I have to explain, like, no, I'm really intrigued about your process.
Yeah.
And
I just want to know how you got there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's the same with the house. It's like, our house is so beautiful in what they did, and there's so much heart in it. But then there are some things that I'm like, what was the thought here? You know?
It was probably a lack of thought.
Yeah.
Or just,
or
it's time to stop spending money.
There might, well,
we
yeah,
want
they probably
them 3
got
feet
to
taller,
a point.
but maybe we got to slow our roll now at a certain point.
I think that happens
you got to
a lot.
make concessions.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's life.
That's life.
Let's talk about what's going on in life currently. Oh, this is a great topic, and I did want to bring this up to you because I'm so curious to get your perspective on it. Let's talk about Miss Sasha Fierce, Miss Beyonce.
I knew that's what this was going to be.
Miss Beyonce and how Beyonce goes country.
I wish that I could enjoy music the way an average listener does. It's hard to be in a genre and have worked with so many females that have been up against a wall that seems almost impossible to climb.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible songwriters, incredible artists. And then for Beyonce to say, I'm going to put a country song out. It feels like she gets to jump the line. And because of that, and because of all these people I know that are like, wait, I've been standing here for a decade.
I see, yeah.
It's hard
tough.
because I'm a huge Beyonce fan, and maybe I'm a little jealous that I didn't get that call.
I just kind of feel like I understand that, but it's like she already had the horse and the hat. So like I just kind of feel like it's like when you're ready, right? When you're ready dressed for it.
That's true.
You
know what? Forget what I said. I love it.
He was ready to go, I
think also because so many people that I love it.
It's
and
good.
They're just like playing
it's so catchy.
But being in music
TikTok
in general, of course.
Yes.
I think music in general has almost been ruined for me in that way, because I know, like I said, of course I go and look. She puts out a country song, I want to know who got to be a part of it.
So had she had artists that were in the country world helping her assist in writing it and all of that, would that have changed your mind?
Not if it wasn't me.
Right. Okay. So this is really just you're selfish and jealous is what this is. So Beyonce, if you call Shane, this could all be rectified. We can come out on top of this.
I could support you.
We could support you. If and when you do a collaboration with Shane.
I mean, this ain't Texas. I mean, you can't, I don't know what she's talking about. See, I'm just like, you could have come up with some other word that rhymes with Texas. And look, I'm from Texas. I did not get that call.
Texas Lexus. That's a pretty good one, though. Texas Nexus.
Exes, like your exes.
Exes, yes.
Come on.
Sexist.
Yeah, don't be
sexist. Could have been about
It
sexism.
could have been. That would have been a really fun thing to dance to.
Yeah, Exes. Exes Hollywood.
Exes Hollywood? Okay, move on. New topic.
All right, well, I'm glad that we know how you... Oh, well, let's move on in. I heard that last time we were together, you were starting to tell a story.
Oh, God.
And it involved a word that I don't think it comes naturally to either of us, which really got my Scooby senses up. And so I would love to hear that story.
Okay,
take me through this.
Let me
story time.
Clarify. This was 15 years ago.
Okay.
Long before I had kids or a career.
I'm going to need a circus peanut for this.
You really are. This is a circus peanut.
Say,
this story is a circus peanut.
I feel it.
This story is.
I'm ready.
I'm ready. It's called a peanut, but tastes like a banana. So I feel funny today about this because I feel like you're interviewing me. I realize I'm really
2020.
Yeah. So, okay. I'm just going to tell it, and then we could always edit it out.
Spit it out.
I just would die if any parents at my kids' school heard me saying this word, it would be real cringy,
Sometimes you just have to accept that you're a little cringe.
This is a long story.
Okay.
So
I'm ready for
15 years ago, let's say. This is when I had no money. I mean, really had no money.
Mm-hmm.
Moved to Nashville, back from LA. I'd been in and out of Nashville. and I needed an accountant. Okay. Let's shelf that part of the story.
Okay.
So late at night, I used to get high or drink, and I'd write songs, and sometimes I'd watch old comedy specials. And there was an old comedy special with George Carlin, who's an irreverent comedian. And he walked out in one of these shows and he said, "You know what nobody talks about anymore? Farts." And I thought that was the funniest thing I'd ever heard. So I decided in that moment that the few passwords I had at that time, because this is 2005 or something, that I would make my bank password fart. Well, it had to be fart 1 because you needed
Exclamation point.
a number. You couldn't just do letters.
You had to be the best fart.
Now I had a bank account that you actually went into. So anyway, I had some financial woes around 2007. Terrible woes. And I needed an accountant when I moved back to Nashville to make sure I didn't go to prison. And I've met this woman.
Can I just say, I love that. So far, my favorite part of the story is that you're so nervous that some of the parents at school might hear you say the word fart, but yet you're totally fine to roll with, I was high, I was drunk, I was poor as shit, I didn't want to go to prison because I was probably not paying my taxes at the time. Like,
Gina,
but let's be hung up on a slightly off kilter word. Okay, just keep going.
You are so right.
Yes.
Fuck all this. Forget it. Fart. Okay, so
I mean, it's just, let's just, if the shoe fits.
Oh my God. Okay, so I go to this accountant that was recommended to me by some people in Nashville, and she, Nashville's a conservative place. I mean, and this was not some high flying accountant that's like dealing with stars. This is somebody who's trying to help somebody who has no money to pay for an accountant, but needs some direction. So I go to her little office. She is just the sweetest girl. And she had I remember specifically, she had this cutout on her desk that said Jesus is love, and it was like whittled out of wood.
No.
And there were pictures of her children, and just very, very kind. So we sit down and she starts asking me questions, and she's like talking about my bank system, what's my account system or situation like. And I said, oh, well, I have an online bank account, which to me was a big deal because I'm so not technologically savvy. And she was like, great, I'm going to need access to that. And if you can help me get in, we'll look at everything. So she turns the keyboard towards me. I'm going to try to tell this in a way that you don't have to see what's going on. But she basically moved her keyboard towards me, went to the website first, puts the keyboard in front of me so that I can type in my password, because she doesn't need to know my password.
Right.
So I was so sweaty thinking I have to type fart 1 on this woman's keyboard. I was so afraid that what if she watches my fingers? What if she knows what I said? So I just type it as fast as I can, assuming that, those little stars would come up. She wouldn't see my password.
The asterisks, yeah.
And a noise happened. Like, bow, bow, like you made a mistake. Like this isn't your password. And we were
like a tiny little bird.
So our reflexes, we both look at the screen. Like, what's gone wrong? And there on the screen, it had not asked for my password.
Stop.
It had asked where I went to high school.
No.
And underneath my high school, it said fart 1.
Oh my God.
And this adorable, sweet little Christian lady looks at me and goes, oh no, honey, just type in where you went to high school. And I just went and just delete, one at a time. I am devastated.
Oh my God.
She never said a word. I put in the high school, had to go to the password. And then I was...
How did you not address that? How do you just... You should have just been like, that's where I went to high school.
That's Bard High.
You've never heard of it?
Yeah.
It's a very elite, it's a private school.
It's a private school.
It's very expensive.
It's very expensive.
Very prestigious.
Prestigious for some reason. It's like you said something else. But anyway, I had to go to the bathroom because I was basically going to have diarrhea.
Yeah.
Which is another segment for us. And I went to the bathroom. I called my sister and I said, oh my God, I am at the accountant's office and she knows my password's part 1. My sister was like, how? And I said, well, because I typed it in front of her and my sister just was like, I told you.
Yeah.
That should not be your password. So
I like how your sister knows that that's your password, though.
I know she did know, yeah. Well, there's a post part of this story. So one day, that woman, months later, she comes over to my house to bring me some paperwork, and she brings her little girl, who's like 8.
Oh my God!
And we're sitting on the couch.
Oh my God! Did she laugh when you put?
No, she never mentioned it.
Okay,
I
that
still
is
like
so
never
horrifying.
I mean, I was so horrified. I thought, what is she? What
she
does she
must
even
see some fucked up
think?
passwords?
I
My
don't
Lord!
know.
Yeah, I mean,
That's a pretty bad one.
it's like definitely like top 5.
I know she was praying for me. I know, like you know. So
hoping God saves her soul. I'm sure
it's definitely too late for me.
Mhm.
But so we're sitting on the couch at my house, and she's like getting paperwork, and her little girl is sitting next to me, and I have my phone in my hand, and she asked me for something on my phone, whatever. I did that, and her little girl's just looking at me, and she goes, "I know your password."
What?
And I go, "What?" She goes, "I know your password," and I'm just like, "Oh my God!"
Oh my!
This
breaking
8-year-old
out in a
child,
sweat.
the accountant sitting there, and she looks at her little girl, and she goes, "What do you mean? Like, what are you talking about?" And the little girl goes, "I saw you punch it in just now on your phone." But she just meant my code on my phone.
Oh my God.
But it felt like I was in a horror film.
Thank
like,
God. Oh my God, that
I
moment.
see dead people.
Right? Like, oh my God, she knows.
She just in the quiet, I know your password.
What if she
And you know what I said to her? I
was
said, back up, you little
yeah, you blow you out like a fart, you little bitch. Get out of here.
Okay.
That's
the story.
horrifying. That's horrifying.
But I still sign my emails with PF.
No, you don't.
Some of them I do because a lot of people
Stop.
around me at that time know that story.
That's
and
hysterical.
So PF is sort of our sign off.
I think that passwords are like the bane of my existence.
Well, I think it used to be such a big deal.
Yeah.
Because we were like, you know, it was new and it was like, I wanted my password to make me smile. Or like every time I put it in, something, you know, now it's like a version of my kids' names spelled differently with 5 numbers after it because I've had to do so many different ones.
I mean, the thing is, at this point, the passwords are all ironclad because I can't even get into any of my own shit.
No, I know.
Nothing.
Absolutely not.
Every time I go to sign into literally anything, it's 26 steps, emails,
questions,
new passwords, security questions, and it all leads to me not getting in and having to put that task off.
My assistant the other day said, would you answer these security questions? She sent me a screenshot because she was trying to get into something and it was like, when's your best friend's birthday? And I was like, oh my God, who was my best friend when I answered this?
Which friend? I have so many best
there
friends.
There was something else that was like, what's your favorite car or something? I was like, these are vague.
Could be. It's very subjective. And it's very, I don't know the answers to any of these. No. That's what I think. And then it's like, did I start it with a capital? Did I not start it with a capital?
Oh, or did you do the exclamation point? Did you do the @
Right.
Which kid was your favorite when you made this password?
Right. Because don't ask me which one of my favorite kids it is because that on any given day could be a different answer.
Yeah.
On some days, it's none of them.
No joke.
Joke.
Yeah.
Well, that's a great story.
Well, I mean, you know, they've been trying to get me to tell it on here for a long time.
I love it. For a while, I was doing everything that it was. Like if it was Instagram, my password was fuck Instagram.
Really?
Yeah. If it was Chase Bank, it was fuck Chase Bank.
Oh, then you would have been in a similar situation when you met my
yeah.
accountant.
Which is why I'm really glad now that they're all just the same generic thing, which is, you know, I don't even know what they are because I can't get into any of my shit. So if anybody else can figure out my password.
But what's funny is the rate of people stealing identities and getting into people's accounts is so high, but the people that actually can't get into them
It's so
are the
high.
actual people.
My passwords are 100% effective every time I go to use them.
Right.
So how are these people figuring this out? I can't even figure it out myself.
I would love to know how they're figuring out these passwords because we don't know our own passwords.
They are way smarter than all of us. Let's just put it that way. I mean, if that's what's happening, for sure. All right, let's talk about, I want to move on, and I want to talk about to something that actually is in the news currently, and it's a housewife topic, and it's about my girl Heather Gay, who Heather's great. Have you met Heather?
No, but I saw her across the room at BravoCon.
You would love her.
Absolutely love her. If she's anything like she is on the show, she's one of my top 5
She's
all-time
cool.
housewives.
She's real cool. I would say that now.
I know
she's
we would
also
be friends.
half the size she used to be.
Right.
And so this was like a big thing in the news right now about body positivity, and Heather Gay saying that body positivity is a lie after she lost 20 pounds thanks to Ozempic. And she feels that she is being treated better by her peers now that she's lost the weight. So what do you think about that?
Well, I think body positivity, when she says it's a lie, what she means is that you can get totally on board with your body at any size. And so
no, I think what she was saying though specifically was that she tried for so long.
Look, it's better to not be overweight.
Right. So she tried for so long to
just
be happy and but also I think where she's feeling like a bit of a sellout is she feels like she tried to be like, it's better to be the body you are. I'm happy with who I am because this is who I am. And she tried to like be that chick for everybody. And then she sold out.
Well, unfortunately, it could be generational. I mean, this is something we've talked about a lot. Like in my family, it was just better to not be overweight.
Well, I think also it's very hard when you're the holdout saying you're the, like one of the last of the Mohegans there being like, come on, we can love ourselves. When every single person around, like I watch it now and I'm thin, but like I'm not Ozempic thin. And so you watch all of these women that you work with and they're your peers and your colleagues and whatever, and they're just shrinking. And I mean, BravoCon, these ladies could walk behind a pole and they're gone,
God, it was crazy.
So for someone like Heather, I understand that it's like, look, I've been trying to stand there and wave the white flag, but she went down, and I think it's hard for her because she feels
why does
better.
It have to? Yeah, that's it. I don't think it has
was
to be
her mental struggle.
It's another Kelly Clarkson. I think is a great example of this because she never
looks so good.
Yeah, but she's never like gone on about. She never felt bad about herself. Like that was not. I never heard her talk about. Ugh, I'm so fat, or you know what I'm saying. And so maybe. And I think I do think she loved herself and her body. I don't think I mean, unless she was just really good at faking it. But she's lost weight now. And I think people probably are like, oh, you too. I mean, it's just easier.
I think the reality of the situation is everybody feels better when they're their best version of themselves.
If that is the best version. And I do think clothes fit better. There's more options. Mm-hmm. People do tend to, we're also programmed.
Well, it's a societal norm that we can't ignore, that everybody is expected to be, the best, thinnest version of themselves. I do think some of these women are getting a little too thin, but that's like a different issue. But I do think if you're somebody who struggles with weight, like to me, Heather Gay was maybe one of the first people who should have explored that, right? Because she clearly struggled a little bit with her weight, and she owned a med spa, and she's obviously taking care of herself to like the most that she can do, and it's not to the level that she wished that it was. So to me, somebody like Heather Gay, who has a struggle there and a reason to really take it, shouldn't be the person taking the hit on this. It's like if you are like, I don't think I should be on Ozempic. You know what I mean? I'm already very thin. I don't even try. I eat circus peanuts for breakfast, and I do not work out.
Well, you just did not make any friends with that comment.
Well, but and Emily tells me I'm a little bitch every day for it. Like she's very heated about it, right? So I get it that to me, it's like if I want to lose that last 5 pounds, 10 pounds, whatever it is, I really should be changing my diet and I should be working out, because for me to take Ozempic and just drop those 10 pounds and now just not eat, it would just make me less healthy, in my opinion. But if you're somebody who is eating healthy, working out every day like Emily, you know what I mean? And you're doing all the right things and you
your body is
can't hit the mark.
Yeah.
That's who it's for, in my opinion. So I think Heather should give herself a break, because I understand I understand it's a mental struggle for her because she really wanted to be there for the girls. But I think that for you to be the one that's tried so hard and struggled and you can't get there and you need the little assist, don't beat yourself up over that.
I'm glad she's saying it. I'm glad she's saying what it was. You know, I know so many people are just, they're anti letting people know how they lose weight. I mean, Oprah will normalize it because Oprah has admitted that she's using it.
Because she struggled her whole life.
Right.
Like, God bless Oprah.
And we've watched it.
Yes.
And so.
And scrutinized it and judged it. And she deserves to have a happy ending.
Yeah. If that's what it is. If the weight is that. I mean, that's the thing, is I do hope, because we've all become so conscious of this with our kids, I do hope that weight for the next generation is not, I'm not saying it won't be, because there's TikTok and there's all these things, but we're at least having conversations and understanding that when we're hard on ourselves about our weight, our kids, that was a big deal in my house. My mom was thin, but she always talked about being fat. She was like, oh, I'm so fat. Well, then my sister and I are looking at her going, oh shit, if that's fat. So we try really hard in our house to realize those things go into our kids. They're listening going,
100%.
Because I'm a person who always talks about looking fat. I'm like, that makes me look fat. I don't want to wear that. I feel fat in that. And your kids are soaking that in and they imitate that behavior. So we have been really, fat is the F word at our house. And I would literally get onto my kids less for saying fuck.
Yeah.
And so I'm hoping that releases the stigma around that, to where, you know, kids do not think that being fat or being thin defines you.
Yeah.
But that could be generational. And I do think no matter how much
we're
Heather
certainly
Gay,
not fixing it in this generation with Ozempic then.
No,
I mean,
but what it could be is that Ozempic is legitimately making people healthier, and that healthier does, you know, mean that you're not as heavy.
Well, I actually just heard Oprah say this, and she just commented and said that in her research to be able to speak to this point, she actually found that statistically, like right now, more people die of obesity than they do malnutrition.
Exactly.
And so it is an epidemic and it is killing people. Now, I don't know if you look at any housewives and you go, they're malnourished, get them on Ozempic. You know, I think that maybe is where the issue is. But
it's still, it's improving cholesterol numbers.
Yeah.
Even people that are thinner that are on it, there are things that
has health benefits. Yeah. I mean, I see both sides of it. I know that for me, it was never an issue. I've been fat on the show. I've been skinny on the show. I've been thinner. I've been bigger. I've been everything. I think that it really is more, I think our bigger issue in this society is mental health.
Totally.
And I think if you don't fix the mental health first, it doesn't matter.
So
if you're big or little, you're still going to struggle. Because that's the thing. These women lose so much weight. Then they're still not happy.
Yeah, they should not be shooting the Ozempic into their belly. They shoot it in their brain.
Yes, because that's the problem. We need the Ozempic brain shot for sure.
I remember one time Nene said, you may have lost weight, but your brain is still fat. I think it was Nene who said that. We always say, your brain is fat. Because the truth is, that is what the problem is.
Yeah, it's self-esteem.
And that's why people lose too much weight, because their brain is fat.
Because they think they're chasing something that's not going to happen, you know? And yes, and I think, the brain is fat and you don't see yourself correctly. And it's sad. It is sad. I think that I have a healthy sense of self-esteem and a good foundation. And I always say that. And I do believe that self-esteem is not about thinking that you're great or perfect. I think that self-esteem is knowing the things that you're good at and you like about yourself and loving yourself for that and embracing those things and being happy and content with those things. And then also being aware of the things that aren't perfect and you're not so great at and being okay with that.
Gina just brought it home. We've been talking a little longer than we had meant to in this episode, but it got to a place of, we went from pussy fart to self-esteem. And I appreciate
pussy fart to self-esteem foundation.
I appreciate you landing the plane and leaving everyone on a positive note.
I didn't crash it.